Hello everyone, welcome to another session with me. I am Sanyukta Saxena. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher and we have been running this series on Zentangle original patterns just in case you are new to my channel. And today's pattern is Cyme, C-Y-M-E. Yeah. The pattern is very organic looking, something like a flower, and the shapes are also very familiar. In case you are familiar with henna or mehndi designs, you would find the shapes even more familiar. Yeah. So let us get started and learn first how to draw the basic pattern Cyme, and then we shall use this pattern to draw a tile today. Yeah, along with some other patterns to go along. So let us first start learn the pattern as is. Yeah, so it's a very simple pattern to draw. uh, this is the basic shape. Yeah, just like a petal shape. You must be familiar with this shape if you know the pattern poke root. I'm sorry, poke leaf. Then this is the shape of poke leaf. So this is the shape that we are going to use in the pattern Cyme also. Yeah, so I'm just going to draw these shape in this fashion. Yeah, so you can draw 4, you can draw 5, you can draw any number. That's not a rule. The shape is important. And then I'm going to aura it. Yeah, so I'm going to aura each of these shapes every time I draw it. Yeah, and then I'm going to add one more layer like this. So again, a tangle which can grow to any extent, depends on how much space you have, how much you want to extend it. Yeah, so again adding the second layer of aura. Yeah, then again you can add third. You can either add it here or you can add smaller ones here. No rule as such. So I'm adding on both sides. You can add one big here, that's okay. Yeah, so depending on how big is your petal shape, so you will have spaces and you will have to decide how you want to go about it. Again adding an aura. So that's important. Each of these petal shapes have an aura. Yeah, so this was the third layer. Again you have spaces here. Add fourth. Yeah, so you can keep growing it to any extent and you can see how beautiful a flower does it form. Yeah, just by adding these petal shapes in a certain fashion. Do remember to aura them. Yeah, so this is the basic pattern Cyme. Now how do you generally play around? Again, each of these petal shapes give you opportunities to play around. Add a dot here, add anything inside, or you can play around with these, right? Or you can add something like this. Anything. Each of these petal shapes have provide you with ample of opportunities to play around. Add something like this inside. Add something like this inside. Yeah, so I'll show you a few tiles. And how do you generally shade it? Again, these petals have overlap, so a nice way of shading will to add graphite at these places. Yeah, so they will really add. And there are other ways also. For example, you can shade half. I'll show you a few tiles. Yeah, so just in case you add graphite at the intersection, it looks really nice. The overlaps pop up and the petal shapes look like overlaps. Yeah, we reduce it a bit. Yeah, or you can shade on half of the leaf and highlight the second half. That is also another way, like this. Or you can shade the inside, whichever way you feel like, at that point of time, whatever the tangles are, you have used a combination of tangles, so that helps you decide which way to shade. Yeah, so one is this, the other one is this, and then you can also shade the half. Yeah, so you'll get a better picture. Let me show you a few tiles where I've used the pattern and also used it differently. So this is a tile. You can see a small little embellishment here, addition. yeah, and aha in the center, and few more tangles to go along. Yeah, so again this is another tile which I posted, shime in the center, upside down shime in the edges, and then crescent moon and knight's bridge. Yeah, it's more about arrangement. Again, I started from the edges, drew shime, and then grew upon it, so it is like top down approach. Yeah, so instead of drawing like this, it is coming like this. Yeah, and simple hollow block in between, so you can see how beautiful the pattern looks like just by differing the arrangement. Yeah, again a touch of color which I am not very good at, but this is how you can use shime as a reticula and add different patterns inside it. Yeah, so that's one more way. Again, shime in the center, a simple tile with some gorgeous, and shime here also where I have varied the initial. Yeah, I have started it differently and then added shime. Again, this is proper shime and few more tangles. So many ways to play around and just explore, just experiment. So I did a little work on my tile for today. This is a Zendala, and what you can do is divide it into half using your markers, or just fold the tile, find the center point, draw a line, and ink the half black. You can either use an 08 or you can use any other broader nib, yeah, graphic one, anything. And then I some pencil lines broadly I have divided it into sections. Yeah, I hope you can see it. That much work I have done. So let us draw shime on this. So we will be today playing mostly with shading and will not be embellishing it much, just black and white, and let us see how does the tile turn out to be. Yeah, so let's get started. Yeah, so I'm starting with my micron 01. Yeah, and going to start here. So clubbing two of these sections. So this division is entirely up to you. You want to do it, you do, otherwise it's not required. All of these tiles have been drawn without any divisions. Yeah, so just for convenience, so taking two at a time and starting with my pattern shime. Yeah, so these kind of divisions are generally created for mandala, but we are not drawing a mandala here, right? So it is up to you whether you want to. So I am now taking up my jelly roll 10 and going to extend the half, or probably pick up my 8. The 10 seems to be a little bold, so I'll take out my 08, I think. Yeah, here it is. So I'm using my 08, and yeah, this seems to be better. So remember the basic shape. Yeah, and these lines, as I told you, are just for reference. You can entirely do away with it, not required. Yeah, then again moving on to the next. So next layer, first we have to add the aura. So don't forget auras, a very integral part of the pattern shime. Yeah, so little discomfort, you have to keep switching pens, so but I'm sure you will be happy with the end result, so make that effort. Yeah. So again switching pens here, or you wish you can draw the first part completely and then move on to the next, entirely up to you. Yeah, complete the black first and then move on to the white, that's okay. So now going to the next layer. So how do we want to make the next layer? In between. Yeah, so I'll start somewhere here and then go like this. Yeah, so you can make it smaller or you can make it equal size. Those things are entirely up to us. How do we want to right? So if you make it small, it will be a small variation. If you make it of equal size, it will look little different. That's okay. Yeah, so again going with auras. So take your time, go slow, rotate your tile, don't move your hand much. Yeah, and then again moving on to my jelly roll. Yeah, simple exercise, not much complicated. Moving on to the third. So what I was saying is either you can start from here or you can start from here. So basically you are creating a different kind of a grid here if you start right from the edges. Yeah, so a simple difference in how you where you start from the petal shape will make a difference in the look. Yeah, nice petal shapes, and just about the arrangement which gives it the look. Again adding auras. So some people, in fact many people ask me how is mandala and Zentangle related, or how are they different or similar. Well, mandala is always drawn in a circular arrangement, right? So the grid is always circular, which is not necessarily the case with Zentangle. Yeah, and Zentangle patterns have special features. Tangles have special features. Not every pattern is a tangle. Yeah, so that's not the case with mandala. So now I think it will become too big, so let us now start from somewhere in between. Yeah, so let us start from here. So I'm changing my grid a bit here. So now I'm not starting from here because I think it will become too big. Yeah, so entirely up to you how you want to go about it. Tangles are suggestions, they are not hard and fast rules that you have to make it that way. But yes, first learning the basic would always help you, then you can go along creating your own, make the tangles your own, create your own versions. Yeah, and then again the auras. Yeah, so now we have deviated from drawing from edge, from this tip to the tip, because it was becoming too big. Yeah, again aura. Make sure your jelly roll dries up, don't put your hand on it, avoid. It takes a little time to dry up, you may end up smudging it. Yeah, so moving on to the next. So I'm just growing on the same thing, so probably add one or two layer more and then we'll see what do we want to do with the rest. Yeah, so I'm adding the last layer now. Beautiful pattern to work with. Again pick up your jelly roll. So the lines give you nice reference, but again I told you it is up to you whether you want to start with them or you can draw freehand. which is more advisable, and I do all the other tiles freehand only. Yeah, so let us now add the final aura. Yeah, and the white. So take your time and be patient. Take deep breaths. Enjoy each stroke. Don't be in a haste. If you have some other work, please finish it and then sit calmly and do it. Yeah. Yeah. So now that we have done it, let us now add something else in the rest of the tile. Let's see, what do we want to add? Probably adding double lines here. I'm going with the same lines. Yeah. So there are a whole lot of patterns that you can add. So depends what do you want to go with. Yeah, so let's go with Ixorus probably. So going to use the pattern Ixorus. We have already learned the pattern. Just in case you are new to it, please refer to my earlier video. However, I will be drawing very slowly and showing you the pattern again. Yeah, and I think we are done. So let us now first embellish what we have drawn. So I'm going to keep it simple. What I'm going to do is add a line and add the same leaf kind of shape which I have used earlier. It really looks nice as far as this pattern is concerned. Yeah. So going to keep it simple, straight line. And these leaf shapes. Yeah. So yeah, and then the same thing the other side. So take your time. You can add any other pattern of your choice. Please free to do that. Yeah. Yeah. And then we'll see what we want to do with the center. Moving on to this section. Probably we'll add these petal shapes, small little spaces. So choose your tangles carefully. Yeah, tangles with which you can do justice. So I've done that exercise, added the petals throughout, right? Now we have this in between. So again, you can add some other tangle. Even if you leave it like that, it would look nice. You can add different kind of shading. Yeah, so not filling up the entire thing. Just adding a moon and a few auras. Yeah. Yeah, and then switching the pen. So if you think of some other pattern that would look better, please go ahead with it. So I'm going with what is coming to my mind right now. Yeah, so just add both sides of the moon. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Yeah, I think we are done. Now this part, I'm just going to keep it simple. Again, switch the pen. Yeah, the center, what we can do is make it or convert it into nice. Yeah, so what I am going to do is use these lines and convert the center into nice. Again, so we know the pattern nice, yes. So leaving one section and inking the alternate section. Moving on to my jelly roll. So you can add a white line here. Nice little exercise of switching pens, yeah. And then again. Yeah, I think we are done. So now let us move on to our next pattern, that is I'm going to draw Ixorus, a part of it. So drawing those crescent moon humps in the Ixorus fashion. Yeah, and then switching pens again. Yeah, simple exercise. Remember the Xorus grid, crescent moon arranged in this fashion. Yeah. So moving on to inking now. So you may ink it, you may add some other pattern inside it. It's entirely up to you. You can add dots inside. We shall see if we want to embellish it. Right now I am going with plain inking. Yeah. So I have inked all those moons, and now I am now moving on to adding the auras, right? Starting right here. Going to add on both sides simultaneously. Like this, yeah. So simple exercise, just like you add auras to moon in crescent moon, same thing. Yeah, again. So take your time, slowly just aura all these moons till they touch each other. Yeah. So I'm almost finishing with my auraing, working with my jelly roll on the black section. Adding aura to both the moons in a section simultaneously, just to ensure some uniformity. Yeah. Again, auras. And then second last one. So basic concept in Exorus is the same, just that moons are arranged in a certain fashion to create this beautiful pattern. It is an extension of crescent moon only. However, it looks pretty intricate because of the arrangement of the moon. Yeah. So we are done with that exercise. So now let us move on to shading. Yeah. So give it 2 minutes to dry up, and meanwhile I'll just start adding graphite. So we'll try different types of shading here. Yeah. So I'm using both my graphite pencil and chalk pencil simultaneously. So I showed you 2-3 types of shading. Probably we'll use at least 2 of them here. So adding chalk to the black sections. Make sure you have 2 different dottlons for smudging. Yeah. And then probably we will, yeah, here we'll go with the same shading. Shade the ends. and then pick up your chalk. Don't add too much, just at the ends. Yeah, as far as this section, I think it would be nice to add some here from where the petals are emanating. So little tricky shading also here, so just be patient because we are using two pens, so the shading would also be a little. So now moving on to probably add here also. So I'm just adding the graphite everywhere first, and then we will pick up our stump and just blend. Yeah, and then the chalk, not much, just a touch. In the same way that you applied your graphite pencil, use at the same places. Yeah. Yeah, I think we are done with adding our. So I have two stumps here, right? So everything to do. So now start blending. Now moving on to the other one. Just soften the chalk. You don't need to blend much, and don't spread it too much, else the whole section will go white. Yeah. Moving on to the inner. Again, same principle, just smudge the ends, don't smudge too much. It's real fun to shade on black also, and you will see a glimpse here today. Then smudging this section. Yeah, again changing. I try so hard to hold the tile from below, just like Maria does. It is so much simpler to rotate your tile, but just not in the habit. but I'm trying to. Yeah, it's a good habit when you actually get into the flow of drawing, tangling. You don't really want to be interrupted by the tile not moving. Yeah, you want it to move fast. So it's a good idea to hold it under. Yeah, just the way Maria does. But it's a matter of habit, doesn't come easily. So now blending the next, just smudging my graphite. Go easy. So Cyme is a beautiful pattern. Try out different versions, try arranging it different ways, try different fillings inside the petals, and you will create so many different variations. Yeah, this black and white version is just one example. So it's a beautiful tangle. Yeah, and then moving on to the other stump. Again, blend the same way, but don't blend too much. So I am planning to come up with another new series coming week that will be on tangle coasters. We will be drawing mono tangle coasters, and I'll be mostly using patterns that I've not already used. Yeah, so patterns by different CZTs, and we shall draw coasters, MDF coasters. So just in case you're still not a member, do consider buying the membership to have access to these videos. Yeah, so I think we are more or less done. Whatever brown graphite is already there, you can just give a touch on the inside, not much. Yeah, I think we are done with our tile for today. If you want to add more, you can go on and on and on. Yeah, so let me close my tile here today. So I'm going to add my chalk and sign and date it. So this was our tile for today, and we shall be meeting with another Zentangle original again. Till then, have a good time. Bye bye. Take care.